Welcome back to Dirty Water, Coins and Collectibles. We've got a nickel hunt. Boxes 29 and 30. I do have boxes of pennies to hunt, but I have to try to get a few days worth of hunts in the queue because it does take a couple of days to hunt pennies. And I kind of just want to have enough videos lined up that I can still put out daily videos. So I'm trying to do that right now. I'm kind of just day to day. Those Eisenhower hunts took a lot of time, so trying to work my way back. But right now I have box 29 and 30 for the year. Looking for Shield nickels, V nickels, Buffalo nickels, War nickels, proofs, 2009s, 2024s, foreigns, errors and varieties. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Henning nickels we'll add in there, which I haven't found one yet. Let's get into this hunt, see what we can find. I have not opened these boxes yet, so let's see if I can pop this one while I have you here with my screwdriver. Let's see if that worked. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. If we have circulated, and it looks like we do. Yep. All right. Let's see, what is that one? Maybe 22 or 23. So let's get into it. Per usual, I will do 10 rolls and bring you back with a 10 roll wrap up. If I do come across something cool, I will bring you in for it, I guess live. Not really live, but at that moment. See you back here in just a second. All right, row 1 of box 1 gives us a couple of foreigns, a 1993 and a 1998 Canadian. We had a 1952 San Francisco. We had a 1954 Philly, a 56 Denver with, I don't know if that's damage or a strike through. There's really not any of that. What's that? That's damage. So we have that there. And that in pretty much the same spot. So I'm going to go with damage on that. But 56 Denver and a 59 Philly. Actually in pretty nice shape. That is a better date. And we have a 2022 DDR stuck on the box here. So you can see the doubling in the U, in the N, the lower portion of the E, T's, the E there, lower portion of the F there, the upper portion of the M, the E, a little bit of the RI, the O of Monticello is elongated, and that's pretty much it that I see. I didn't really see much on E pluribus unum. Yeah, a little bit. The M is doubled right in here, and we have a little bit in the U and the U there. So a 2022 DDR. Let's get into the next 10 rolls. I'll bring you in with the finds. Just flattened out roll number 2 for row 2. And we had an ender. 1943. I have not flipped it over yet, so I have no idea. I'm going to say Philly. And we got a 1943 Philly. War nickel, 35% silver. And let's see if we have any kind of variety. I don't see the 3/2. Do we have, I don't see the double I. Don't see any random doubling there. Anything on the mint mark? Mint mark looks fairly normal as well. And Don't see anything on E pluribus unum or Monticello. 5 cents. All looks normal. Nice scratch. All right, but we have silver on the board. Let's keep her going. All right, I'm working on the 7th roll of Group 2, and we came across a 2024 Denver. That's awesome. Lower mintage. Happy to have that. Nice little score. All right, let's keep this hunt going. Maybe we'll find some more. Be back in just a second. All right, here's our finds for group number 2. We have a 57, 58, and 59 all out of Denver. We have 2 1946 out of Philly. No Hennings. We have a 2022 again. And let's see here. You have the doubling under United. You can see a little bit under the F and I of 5. You can see it on the back sides of the S, under the T, under the E, the F of, and America. We have that DDR, thickness in E pluribus in the lower portion. So we have that. And we did get a 1924 Denver low mintage and our 1943 Philly silver war nickel. So not a bad 10 rolls. Let's get into the next 10. I'll bring you in with the finds. I'll be right back. All right, just flattened out roll number 4 of the 3rd row. And we have S-Mint reverse over the Monticello. So we've got a silver war nickel. I have not checked it. I just pulled it to the side. Does it have that color of a war nickel? I'm going to say 44. Here we go. 1943 San Francisco. 35% silver. Number 2 on the board. Let's keep her going. We'll find a buffalo, hopefully, and I'll bring you back in. See you in a second. All right, just finished up group 3 of 10 rolls for box 1, or 29 for this hunt. We did get another foreign, a 1985 Canadian. I have a 1951 Philly, a 53 Philly, 53 Denver, it's not the D over S, 56 Philly, 57 Denver, and a 58 Denver. Down here we have our 40s finds. We have a 1940 Philly and a 46 Philly, not the Henning. Right here I have a 2023 DDR. Let's see. Pull back a little bit here. We have slight doubling in United. Doubling under the F and the I of 5. A little bit under the E. Doubling under states or in states. Doubling of the F of. Slight doubling in America. And then we do have some doubling in unum. See the thickness on the left side of the lower portion of the M, right up in there. And some thickness in E pluribus. And we do have a 2022. This one's actually pretty cool. I don't find these all that often, but we have slight, very minor doubling under United States of America. You can see it behind the S there. A little bit under the E and behind the S again. a little bit under the F, the top of the M, and the E and R. But if you check out the FS, we've got doubling in the FS, designer initials there. So we have doubling right in here and right out here. So that's pretty neat. I think a little bit of extra thickness up top. Nothing crazy, but a little bit. But I really like the FS. That's pretty neat. All right, let's keep her going. Get into group 4. All right, I just took the wrapper off the second roll of group 4. And we've got scumbaggery. There's a Lincoln scent. And it's stuck. Ew, that's gross. Oh, that's like gum or something. That's nasty. All right, I'll see if I can pull that off with my screwdriver. Peel it off, poke it off. Because it probably won't go back into the coin machine like that. See if we can get a date off of it. That's nasty. Be right back. All right, looks like 1976. Maybe 1978, I'm not 100% sure. But we got most of the funk off. All right. Let me hunt this roll. I'll come back if I have something. I was going to say come across anything, but be right back. Here's our finds for group number 4. We have a 2001, what's out of Bermuda? Out of Bermuda. I have a 1954 Philly, a 54 Denver, and a 57 Denver. We had a 1940 Philly, a 41 Philly, a second 41 Philly, and a 1949 San Francisco. We did get one 1938 out of Philly. And then this one down here is a 58 Denver. But check this out. So we do have some lamination issues. We have a lamination up here, which is really cool. It's a nice looking lamination. And we have some lamination in here. Now check this out right here. So obviously it looks like lamination, right? But see up here, like you can see where the A is. Down here, the metal is over CEN. So I don't know what this is. This like retained metal? I don't know. Like, did it come down here and back up here? Was it retained? No, because if it was retained, it would still show the letters. I don't know. I don't know how does that happen where the letters aren't stamped onto the planchet. They're partially missing. So something's covering CEN. That's so weird. Kind of like it was folded down and then came back up this way, like someone, I don't know. So strange. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. How does that happen? How does the lettering get covered? All the laminations that I've seen, the letters are still there. But we do have a 1958 Denver with the lamination error. Let's get into the last 10 rolls. I'll be back with any finds. All right, very last roll. We got more scumbaggery. It's been a while since we've had some scumbaggery. 1981 copper. About a 3-cent piece there, so we didn't lose that much. All right, let me get through this roll. I'll bring you in if I have anything cool. See you in a second. All right, those last 10 rolls, fifth group gave us a 1954 Philly. We have a 57 Denver and a 58 Denver. We also have a 1947 Philly, not the Henning. All right, let me show off the better finds for this particular box, and then we'll get into box number 30. Be right back. Here's our finds for the first half of the hunt. We had that 1958 with the lamination issue. We had the 2022 with the DDR and the doubling in the FS. We came across a 2024 Denver low mintage nickel. And two silvers, a 43 Philly and a 43 San Francisco. Now we got to get into box number 30. I'll bring you in with those finds. Be right back. All right, let's pop into box number 30 of 2025. Let's see what we can find. So there's everything. I did cut the box, but I haven't popped it yet. Pop it now. Let's see. Looks like we've got circulated. Definitely circulated. Alright. Alright, so let me get into it. Do the 10 rolls at a time, per usual. If I come across anything great, I'll bring you in for it. Otherwise, it'll be a 10 roll wrap up 5 times till we get to 50 rolls. We're going to be looking for shield nickels, which I've never found, V nickels, buffalo nickels, war nickels, proofs, errors, varieties, foreigns, whatever else might be hiding in these rolls. Hopefully not pennies, but it does happen. 2024s, 2009s for our lower mintage years. 50D. So all kinds of stuff that we'll be looking for. Let me get into this hunt. I'll be right back. All right, I just took the wrapper off of roll number 5. This one here looks greenish, but I'm not good at picking out the war nickels, so we'll see. Probably an 80s. And it's not a war nickel. It's a 99. Pretty nasty looking. All right, let's keep her going. Be right back. I'm on roll number 6, and I have a 1962 under the scope. Just checking the obverse real quick here. This is the one of the first. That T looks funky. That T looks doubled. The R down the bottom looks doubled. That E looks doubled. That's funny, that's not why I brought you in. That N looks doubled. Huh. I wonder if this is a DDO-DDR. Let's see here. That L has some splitting to it down the bottom. That E. I think this is a dual variety here. Let me check it, flip it. Not really much. Yeah, a little bit. Here we go down the bottom. Is the P. Splitting in the E. A little bit in the L. That crux of the L there. Down the bottom of the R. Down the bottom of the M is some splitting. Wait till we get down. Let's see if there's anything in Monticello. Not seeing anything there. Look at down here though. Look at United. Look at all the splitting there in the U, the N, I, T, E, D. We've got that snake's tongue in the S, top and bottom. That is sweet. Look at that. All the way around United States of America. That's great. I don't know if I've ever found, well, I found the 39. That was my best find. But that's a sweet nickel. So it looks like obverse and reverse, because there's definitely doubling on these letters here. Top of the G, there's some notching. So that's a sweet find. We'll definitely be putting that one aside. Let's keep her going. See you on the next find. All right, roll number 10. That one there could be silver. I just opened this up. I haven't looked. I still have the wrapper in my hand, if you can see it there. It looks like it could be silver, but again, it's probably something that I've just looked at before. 2006. You gotta be freaking kidding me. All right, no go. Let's keep her going. Be right back. All right, here's our finds for our first 10 rolls. It was light, but worth it. So we have a 1956 Philly, a 57 Denver, 58 Denver. We had a 1939 Philly, no double dies, no Hennings. Down here I have a 2022 DDR. Let's see here. So you can see the doubling in United under the E, inside the D, inside the T's, the E of America, and then up in here you can actually see the extra thickness right there in the M, in the U's. The coin has seen better days. Thickness in the pluribus, and then we have our 1962, and we have the doubling in We Trust, definitely down the bottom of the T, bottom of the R. The upper portion of the T is thicker. And then if we flip her over, I mean, we definitely have doubling. That is unbelievable. That's so cool. All right, let's keep her going. Let's get into the second row. See what else we can find. I'll be right back. All right, here's our finds for our second group, but first, drop a little shout out to Numismatic, watching his current $50 hunt, and he's got a pretty sweet strike through right here. So go over and check out Numismatic, and I will link his description or his name in the description to this video. So sweet find, Noob. All right, back over to here. We have our Bermuda find, 2002. We have a 54 and a 58 Denver. We have a 1940 Philly, a 1939 Philly, no DDOs, no DDRs, no Henning. We have a 2024 Philly, and I have a 2019 DDR here. These are the kind that I like to find. So you can see the extra thickness on the windows all the way up top there too. The triangle is thick. The tops of the pillars are thicker, and the pillars themselves are thicker. We have a pretty sweet little DDR there. Kind of dips down in this area too, right there. So that's a sweet find. Let's keep her going. Be back with the next one. Here's our finds for the third group. We have a foreign, United Arab Emirates. We have 150s find, a 1955 Denver. Not the semi-key date. We have a 1940 Philly and a 1948 Philly. I don't find the 48 all that often. So that's a cool little find. That's what we got for group 3. Let's get into the fourth group. I'll be back with the finds. Just flattened out roll number 4, and I was thinking that right there looked a little clean, like just shiny. And look what we got. We have an S-minted war nickel. So let's guess a date. I'm gonna say 45. There we go. 1945 San Francisco war nickel, 35% silver on the board. Let's check it under the scope just for giggles. Don't see anything. Nothing there. I don't think anything there. Now we get a little lamination. Check the mint mark. Mint mark looks normal. All right, everything else appears normal. All right. Let's keep her going. Silver on the board. Be right back. All right, group number 4 gives us another foreign. We have a 1998 Canadian. Right over here we have a 1940 San Francisco. 1940 Philly. 1946 Philly. Not the Henning. We had our 1945 silver war nickel. And under the scope, we have another 2022 DDR. So doubling in the, you can see it in the U, the I and the N, T, E, D. I'll just run through that quick so you can see it like you did before. Of in America. All right, let's get into the final grouping. I'll be back with any finds. All right, I'm on roll number 3 of the last group. I just ripped it open, and I thought there was a penny in here, but we've got a dried up worm elastic. It's kind of funky, huh? Yeah, just caked on there. Wow. Alright, so let me try to get this off as best as possible so I can get it into the machine. Let's keep this hunt going. Be right back. I think last time I said I wasn't on roll 8, but I was on roll 3, kind of counting backwards. Now I'm on roll 4, and now we do have a penny. And there is a dark colored coin right here, but my odds are against me with pulling silver like that. Hey, look at that. Holy shit, we got a Wheatie. Wow, 1942. Wheat cent in the roll. Huh. All right, we'll take that. Let's see what the this dark coin is. And of course, not a silver. 93. All right, let's keep her going. Bring it back in with group number 5 has been hunted. And our finds are a 1942 wheat cent. Pretty sweet. And we have a 1958 Denver, followed by a 1959 Denver. 3 40s. We have a 41 Philly, a second 41 Philly, and a 46 Philly, not a Henning. And here we have a 1972 Denver in very nice condition, so I'll check that against the album. And now right here, I have a 1953 Denver. If we put this under the scope, starting from the Denver mint mark, we've got some lamination error going on. Comes right down, right into the word Monticello. Kind of peeling on cents. Down to states. That's a pretty good sized lamination error. All right, let me get the best finds for both hunts, and I'll be right back. All right, here's the best finds out of both hunts in my opinion. We have the 2019 with the doubling in the windows and the pillar areas. The 2022 with doubling down in the United States of America and the FS is doubled. We have our older lamination peels. So we have lamination in cents, and then we have a lamination coming from Denver down into the United States of America through the cents. We had 2 2024 finds, a 2024 Denver low mintage and a 2024 Philly kind of low mintage. We had a 43 Philly, a second 43 Philly, I believe they were both 43 San Francisco, my bad. 43 Philly, 43 San Francisco, and I believe this is a 45 San Francisco. Okay. And then we have our 1962 DDR, and I believe a little bit of DDO, but I'll just leave that there. That is incredible. So that's our hunt. 2 boxes of nickels. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It really does help out the videos. Makes their way through the YouTube algorithm to reach viewers like yourself. That is a sweet coin. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Also hit that notification bell. And as always, everybody, thank you. I'll see you on the next one.